Hey gang, today we are doing more sketchbook work as I'm still trying to finish the Stillman and Burn sketchbook I have. I really love the paper that's in this sketchbook. It's a mixed media sketchbook. I always forget which line this is from because Stillman and Burn has a lot of different lines. So let's check. This is their beta series sketchbook. It's a hardcover one. Mixed media paper, has lovely paper inside, but my problem with it is I just have not been feeling the size of this sketchbook. I've really wanted to move to something that's a smaller size, and while I can have multiple sketchbooks that I'm working out of at once, I have been working on this specific sketchbook for a long time because I haven't done like the most traditional art, which I've said many times. I haven't been doing the most traditional art in the past, honestly, 2 years probably, which is crazy because it doesn't feel like it. But I want to just finish this sketchbook and move on to something different, which I'm very excited for because I got another ELO sketchbook. I haven't started it yet. I am forcing myself to wait until this one is completely finished. But I didn't, it's funny because I didn't like the ELO sketchbook too much when I first used it. I had a lot of issues with the paper. It's thinner paper, and I was also really into watercolors at the time, which is fine, and it can technically take watercolors. It just had a lot of issues with the paper. The paper was doing some weird spotting stuff that just was not what I wanted. But a lot of people have told me that they have changed the paper and it does not do that anymore. And on top of that, I really like the size of the ELO sketchbook. I think the Stillman and Burn one I'm working out of currently, I think it's a 9x12. Do not quote me on that. But the ELO sketchbook is square. It's an 8x8, and truthfully, square sketchbooks are where it's at. It is such a nice dimension of paper to be working off of, and an 8x8 is much more manageable in my brain. I do like the paper in the sketchbook so much, actually. I need to check out what other sizes they have of the beta series because the paper in this sketchbook is probably some of my favorite paper. It handles every medium I've put on it really well, which has been watercolors, gouache? Is there a gouache in here? Maybe gouache. It would handle gouache though. I've used acrylics, I've used alcohol markers, acrylic markers, all kinds of different things, and it handles it so well. It handles water-based pens, fantastic. I love the way they lay down on this paper. I just am overwhelmed with the dimensions of it, and I just want to finish a sketchbook because it's been so long since I have finished a sketchbook. So I have 6 spreads left. Very excited to finally be done with this. Hopefully soon. I've definitely been going through phases of I'm doing a decent amount of traditional art and then I stop for a while. So I'm trying to get back into it. And especially recently, I have been doing a very good job, which is so nice. And there's just so much less pressure doing sketchbook work, and it's been really lovely kind of getting back into the flow of it. Although even saying that, I'm still not doing as much as I want to, but we are trying. I actually started recording because I wanted to show using this specific pen that I was using at the beginning of this video, using a different brush pen now, and now also using zebra mildliners, which we will get into in a little bit. But I got myself a new Pentel Aquash pigment pen. It's specifically the Pentel Arts Aquash pigment ink brush, light black ink. It's just an aquash pen that comes with its own black ink inside. It's slightly diluted, so it's more of a dark gray wash. And what I really like about this pen is that you can layer it and it achieves darker tones. It's so beautiful. It's such a nice pen. I've had one in the past and I loved using it. I used it a ton. I felt like using it again, and then I went into my pencil case for it and it was completely dried out, which is okay. It lasted a really long time. I probably got my first one 5 years ago. I have no idea, but it's been a really long time. So I don't know if it dried out because most of it was already used or if that ink just simply disappear. I have no idea. But I got myself a new one because I really wanted to use it again. And it is just like, it's so nice to work with. And like I said, you can layer it and it's just like, it's really fun. I love it so much. And then I also started pairing that with zebra mildliners, which I used to love working with zebra mildliners. And I have reignited that so much in my soul. They're so fun to work. They're literally highlighters, but they lay down so nice on this paper. Specifically on this paper, they lay down and layer like watercolors. It's so weird. I've never experienced that with them. I don't know if it's specifically this paper or if it's just because I'm layering them more now than I ever had in the past, because I used to use them a lot to like sketch with them and then go over it with some kind of brush pen on top to do line work and just do like cute little simple doodles like that. I have been loving doing that recently, and I have a bunch of colors that I bought because for a while there I was very into them and I owned every color that was released at the time, which is a little crazy of me. But yeah, I don't know if they've come out with like a bunch more. I do have like a handful I've gotten in between when I was using them like really heavily and then when I stopped. But yeah, they're so lovely. I've been having so much fun using them in my sketchbook. I'm also drawing a lot of stuff that is very much so out of the realm of what I normally draw. As we can see now, I'm drawing birds, which is funny because it started with drawing a very specific bird because I have been in like Madoka Magica brain rot again lately, and so I've been making a lot of Madoka Magica themed art, which is really exciting because I have a lot of really fun stuff coming to my shop soon. So check that out on my other social media because I haven't made like a lot of posts like studio vlogs. I haven't done a studio vlog in a while. I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to right now. I just want to make silly little sketchbook videos and silly little drawing videos right now. So I haven't shared a lot of like the new stuff I've been coming out with on my shop on YouTube. I also haven't been posting to YouTube as regularly as I used to, which again, also trying to get back into that. It's just hard. I don't know. It's a lot more work now, and I feel like the art I make, it takes me so much longer to make art now compared to beforehand. And so like I look back on a lot of my videos and when I was posting once a week and I would be like, wow, like, I don't know how I did that, because now it feels like it takes me so long to make a video. Because I used to, when my channel was a lot smaller, I used to post a video every week, and in doing that, I would record the video, do my voiceover, edit everything, and post a video always on like Monday mornings and like post the video before like 2 p.m. So I would do everything. I would record, I would voiceover, I would edit, I would post to YouTube, all of that before like 2 p.m. And I did that consistently, like every Monday for multiple years. I don't know how I did that. I cannot do that now. If I wake up at like a reasonable time, the amount of time it takes me to record is already like, we're pushing that 2 p.m. mark. So now making videos for me is like a multiple day process, but I did get really off track of the thought process I was initially going down on, which was Madoka Magica brain rot. And I've been making a lot of Madoka Magica art lately, and I've wanted to make more like intricate, interesting pieces that are beyond just drawing the characters. I want to include a lot of elements from the actual series itself, because there are so many cool designs. And just like, if you've seen the show itself, they do this like insane collage style through the anime for Witches' Labyrinths, and there are a bunch of different like little smaller like witch familiar characters that are like super cool and funky designs, and I want to incorporate those into Madoka Magica themed art just because I want to do more like intricate, interesting pieces. And one of the familiars specifically is this little like, it's not even like a sparrow. It's like a raven sparrow. I don't know what she is. But I've been having a lot of fun drawing that character and stylizing it differently. And that got me down the track of drawing birds as a whole and using reference pictures and then kind of turning it into that bird. And then I drew a heron and we were just going to town. And then obviously, as you can see, I drew pigeons on my own. Had so much fun. I want to talk about pigeons, okay? I hope we all know that like humans domesticated pigeons, used them, and just kind of like abandoned them. And pigeons themselves are really social, and they're really friendly, and they like people, and they're really good pets, and pigeons are lovely, and society deems them as like dirty, nasty birds now, when in reality, like, people have used them in history for so many things, and like being obviously like messenger pigeons and stuff like that. I've never researched the history of pigeons. This is just like things I know from being told. I don't know. There's a lot more information out there, but like, people have done pigeons really, really dirty. Insanely dirty. And pigeons are so cute, and they're labeled as like a dirty, nasty, like carrying filth, carrying disease, carrying all this shit. And pigeons are just like really fucking cute and deserve the world. And I think in my ideal world in which capitalism doesn't exist and I have money and like am not living borderline paycheck to paycheck, my dream is to have a pigeon sanctuary. Maybe it's like a pigeon sanctuary with some kind of like cafe attached to it where I can just own like this decent sized amount of land and just like have it netted off, but still like you still have fresh air, you still have daylight, you still experience the elements. It's just netted off so the pigeons can't go far. Or alternatively, because I know pigeons are really smart, maybe I could train them to just like stay in the area. I don't know. This is like delusion because I will never have the finances to be able to accomplish this. But again, in my perfect world, my dream is to have a pigeon sanctuary and just like take care of pigeons, and maybe like have like a cat cafe situation going on where like there's maybe like an indoor area or even an outdoor area where you can have like coffee, and maybe the pigeons that are there wear pigeon pants. Did you guys know they sell something called pigeon pants, which are just a diaper for pigeons? They're called pigeon pants, and they can wear them, and it just catches like their shit. It's fantastic. So yeah, that's my delusional, like, if I could have anything in the world, this is what I would have. I would have a pigeon sanctuary, and it would have some kind of like cafe where people can come and interact with pigeons because they're social and they like people. Maybe no children allowed because I don't like kids. So like, this is my dream. You cannot bring your children. This is for people who are like 16 and up. You cannot bring your little screaming kids to disturb not only the pigeons, but me. This is for adults and older kids only. So yeah, on top of many other things, if billionaires didn't exist and I could live my dreams, there would be at least one pigeon sanctuary in the world. So if anyone wants to sponsor me and give me like $1 million to build a pigeon sanctuary, just kidding. I would need more of a sponsorship than that because I don't know how much things cost. And if I started a pigeon sanctuary and then the pigeon sanctuary failed, what would I do with those pigeons? So yeah, and in my delusions, I want to have a pigeon sanctuary. Back to what we're here for, which is the art. I extremely recently, have started getting into more like armor designs and like old like knight style armor, and so I've been wanting to draw that, but the problem with that is I can't picture that in my head and then draw it. I need reference pictures. And so I was going on Pinterest and I found this artist who did like a Knight-tober back in like 2020, 2021. It was really old. Her username is Juliet Cousin, and I just did some quick sketches of pieces that she's already done that were absolutely gorgeous, and I had so much fun drawing them. And just like her specific drawings, she comes up with like really beautiful different kinds of armor and different kinds of outfits for characters that are themed around like knights, and I've been loving it so much. I think this definitely spurred from, I'm currently listening to the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas? I don't know how to say it, but I'm listening to the Throne of Glass series. I've listened to Akotar, I really liked it, and then I constantly saw people online saying that Throne of Glass is like a lot better and soul crushing. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm really scared for that part. But I was listening to Throne of Glass, which is technically, it's like the first book, but there's a prequel that you should read beforehand. I've been really liking the series. I will say it did take me like a full book and a half to get into the series. I started with the prequel, which is the way you're supposed to read it, which is called Assassin's Blade. and I wanted to be invested in that book, and I just couldn't get invested. Like, the plot itself, I haven't read a lot of fantasy books personally, and so getting into that genre I feel like can be intimidating. And Assassin's Blade starts off with, like, the first arc is about pirates, and I'm not a pirate girl, I'm sorry. I have no interest. It seemed so uninteresting. They were also, like, man pirates. I think if it was cool, like, queer pirates or literally just female pirates, I'd be a lot more interested, but it wasn't. And I kind of got invested towards the end of that book because it got really sad and it hurt my feelings. And then I didn't get actually, like, invested until between, like, a quarter to halfway through of Throne of Glass. But now I am very invested in it. I am on the third to last book now. I think it's the third to last book. I'm on Empire of Storms, and it's really good so far. But again, I keep seeing people online talk about how, like, that series changed them and crushed their soul, and, like, so many things happen, and it's stressful, and it's really sad, and, like, really hurts your heart, and is a series that you think about for a long time after listening to it or reading it. I'm listening to the audiobooks because thankfully I can listen to them for a lot of my work day for my day job, which is so delightful because good God, it makes the time go by fast. So yeah, reading this series has definitely sent me down the rabbit hole of being really invested in so many elements of, like, Knights as a whole, and just, like, drawing more fantasy-esque designs as a whole has been something I've been really enjoying. I had so much fun drawing these swords. I think drawing weapons is super cool, and, like, I don't know. I'm so, like, uneducated about anything in, like, medieval times, or, like, anything about knights or terminology or anything like that. So both, like, I'm fighting for my life trying to think of designs myself because I'm not used to drawing this, so it's, like, really difficult for me. And also, like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's been so much fun. Pinterest has been a godsend to me because, like, all these swords were things that I just drew from pictures that were on Pinterest. I'm also recovering from a cold, which is extremely evil because, I don't know, my immune system has been so kind to me for the past couple of years, and I haven't gotten sick a lot. But I think this is the second time I've been sick this year, which is extremely disrespectful. Also, the older I get, the more it, like, really hits me, even for a common cold. Don't know if that's just, like, something happening right now, because I do know that, like, this year was the worst that the US has seen for, like, the flu and flu season, and COVID's been a nightmare, but we don't talk about that here in the US. But I don't know if it's just, like, the older I get, I don't know what. I'm turning 27 this year, so, like, I'm still young. But the older I get, the more a general cold kicks my ass, and it's, like, awful because I used to be able to just kind of, like, carry on through a cold, and now it's like I genuinely need a full day or two where I am just sleeping, like, all day. I get to wake up, drink some water, maybe eat something, and then go back to bed. And thankfully I'm currently really on the tail end of that. I've been sick for over a week now, I'm realizing. That is also sick and twisted. I started feeling sick last week. Technically today is the, like, 7th day of me feeling sick. I'm mostly better now. I hope tomorrow I can wake up and just feel so funky and so fresh and have so much energy. I know that probably won't happen regardless of whether or not I'm, like, totally over it. But yeah, it's exhausting feeling more repercussions when I get sick and, like, having to really rest, especially with, like, the first day of laying down in bed all day and sleeping all day is like, ooh, what a treat. I do genuinely need this rest, and I don't give myself enough time to rest. And then it's like, all right, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of this. I want to actually do something. I have had this footage recorded for a while, probably about 2 weeks prior to posting this video is when I actually recorded drawing all this stuff, and I was gonna do my voiceover, and then I didn't have time for it right away, and then I wanted to do it, and then I got sick, and then I was like trying to do this voiceover, and I got, like, maybe halfway through, but I was, like, hacking, coughing, I was sweating bullets sitting in my like office chair, So yeah, it didn't go very well for me. So this is delayed because I've just been sick and suffering and trying to rest, and then also like getting to the point where it's like, I have to go back to work even though I don't feel good, which is just a little treat. But like I said, I'm on the tail end of it and starting to like finally feel better. Hopefully I don't catch another cold soon, because good God, two colds in like 2 months. Oh, that's not good. Hoping with the warmer weather too and like longer days. Oh my God, I'm so excited for longer days. Good Lord. I'm so excited for like slightly warmer weather. We've been getting spring weather and it has been such a treat. I'm definitely a spring fall person. I do not like, well, I'm okay with cold weather. I don't want to be in it, obviously. I don't want to drive in the snow. That's like not it for me. But I don't mind cold weather. I detest hot weather though. I've lived in the same general area my entire life, and it's been the same general climate my entire life. And we always get a week or so where I live over summer where it's like over 100 degrees, and it is not it. I tap out at like 75 degrees. Is already like a little too warm for me. I do love like my 40s to 60s. I am a fall spring girl, and we are at early spring right now, so we're getting that like really nice coldish crispy weather, and the sun's been out so much lately too, which has been so nice. We had like a full week of like it was sunny outside. It was so lovely. Give me that vitamin D through the window because I don't want to go outside. I am also currently being plagued with an ice cream truck driving through my apartment complex. I think they're leaving now. They were here for like genuinely like 5 minutes. At one point in time, they just like were stationary to the side of my building for a while. I could see them out my window, and like they weren't doing anything. There was no one there. They were just like there. And it was really loud. And then they had to weave through my apartment complex and then weave out. They are definitely still here, but hopefully it's like far away enough that my mic doesn't pick it up a lot. I do love the concept of ice cream trucks. I rarely got ice cream from them when I was a kid because my parents were always like, that is too much money, that is too expensive. And now as an adult, I'm like, ooh, I have money for it. But unfortunately, as an adult now, I'm also like, they are definitely going to be overcharging. And if I have to put on pants to go downstairs, to go literally hunt them down, I think I'm committed to the bit, and I don't know if I'm like emotionally prepared to spend like $4 on like a popsicle or like a little cookie ice cream sandwich. I love the concept of ice cream trucks. They are lovely. It's like a surprise DoorDash. But back to the sketchbook. I'm definitely aiming to fully finish the sketchbook before like the midpoint in the year. Good God, I hope I can finish the sketchbook between this month and next month optimally. I would love to be able to finish this sketchbook this month. That would be really, really nice. But I don't know about that one. But I will finish it for sure in the next couple of months, and then I'll have a sketchbook tour for you guys, which I'm so excited for. It's been so long since I've done a sketchbook tour, and there's also so much art in here that I just like haven't shared online, because I used to post a lot more of my sketchbook work to like Instagram, and I don't really care too much for posting to Instagram anymore. So like a lot of my sketchbook work is just stuff that I've not really shared online at all. And so yeah, there's a lot of like new stuff. A lot of it is stuff that I've done for videos. I feel like there was a span of time for a little bit there where it was like every sketchbook page I had in a row was something that I used for a YouTube video. But there's also a lot of work in this sketchbook that I just haven't shared online at all. So I'm excited to finally get to the point where I can share all of this sketchbook with you guys. And then you can see most of the traditional art that I've done for the past like couple of years. Because it's been a long time since I've started the sketchbook. I started the sketchbook in late 2023, and now it's the beginning of 2025, so it's been almost a year and a half. Less than that. Still less than a year and a half. Maybe like a year and a couple months of using this sketchbook. Very excited. No, it's been almost a year and a half. I started in October, I think. Yeah, it's been like a year and a half, which is a lot longer. My goal is to like finish a sketchbook in like 6 months, which is extremely unrealistic for myself right now. I know that's not going to be happening for me right now, but I would love to get to the point where I can finish a sketchbook in 6 months again. I will not be doing that with the ELO sketchbook, as I'm pretty sure it has 100 pages in there. And that's a lot, and it took me a long time to finish my other one, but we'll see. We'll see how long it takes me to finish this one. But thank you guys for hanging out with me and catching up with me. I've been trying to make my videos a little bit longer and just like yappy, so I hope that is enjoyable, and then I'll see you guys when I see you guys next.